Hi, my name is Laura. I'm from a small town in eastern Iowa, and I am showing you what I was able to preserve this week. On this particular day, my mom came up to help me deal with some of these apples. We got half of them chopped up, cleaned up, and I ended up juicing these as well, like I've done. I believe it was last week I showed you that. However, I do have a giant basket full yet, so I'm trying to determine if I really want more juice or if I want apple pie filling, but we don't really use a whole bunch of pie filling. So I don't know, maybe that would work for like a base for an apple crisp. I don't know, but I'm trying to figure out what to do with, you can see it in the background, that other basket there that's just heapingly overflowing. So yeah, my mom's here helping me today, and we're just trying to plug through and get as many of these apples done as our hands and fingers would allow. So here I am, just throwing my blocks on and juicing this batch. While she was here, she also helped me cut up a whole bunch of our peaches, and I just put them in containers, put some lemon water in it because I knew that day I was not going to be able to finish. So here we are pulling those out, and I'm just filling my jars. And surprisingly enough, everything ended up perfect, and it filled all my jars with not even a peach left. So that was luck timing. Now I did make some medium syrup, 3 cups of sugar, 6 cups of water, and somehow I did not hit record, but I do end up adding that on top of these beautiful peaches. So here you can see they have been filled with that medium syrup. I'm cleaning all my rims with a rag with white vinegar on it. And then we will get new lids and throw some rings on. And I'm gonna throw these in my Amish water bath canner for 25 minutes and take them out and let them rest. And I will check on them tomorrow morning. And that large jar you see is the apple juice that I got out with when my mom was here. I also have some in the fridge that we're drinking off of as well. And this is what they look like the next day after they sat and cooled. So I'm just gonna throw the date on them and get them downstairs. Now, I've never tried this before, but I saw it in the comments, so I thought I would give it a shot. I still have that giant basket of apples I'm working through, so I'm just going to chop some fresh ones up and try and make some apple cider vinegar. I'm sure I'm going to end up doing it wrong, so please tell me if I am, but I did find this gal, I think it was her blog, and kind of going off what she said. So she said to cut up apples and fill half your container, so I'm going to use a half-gallon jar. So I filled it half the way with apples, and she says for every cup of water to add a tablespoon of sugar. So I'm doing a little bit at a time. I ended up using 5 cups of water and 5 tablespoons of sugar, and putting my cheesecloth on top and putting that in a dark cabinet, and we'll see what happens. So these are the peaches I've left in the house. Everything off the towel needs dealt with immediately because there's bad spots and they're growing and attracting fruit flies, and I'm done. The rest can wait. and there's still more in the tree, but I want to get these bruised ones dealt with. So I was looking in my book here, and I've seen other people make it, and it's peach salsa. I don't think we'll eat it fresh, but I know a lot of people use it when they cook like a pork roast and anything pork related. So I'm gonna do just a single batch. We're gonna try it out, and if we like it, maybe this will have to be on rotation for years when we have really good peach years. What other fun peach things do you guys like to put up? We have a bunch of peach nectar downstairs. We have plenty of jams and jellies. And then, of course, these peach slices, and then now peach salsa. So I'm curious if there's anything super amazing that I'm missing. Oh, I also have peach barbecue sauce, which is really good on ribs. So please let me know if I'm missing something, because I would love to try it. Now, the recipe called for a red onion, but I don't have any, so I'm subbing in a white onion, which is just fine for pH balance wise, because this will be water bath canned. And so now I am going to deal with these peaches, and it was late. My munchkin needed to go to bed, so I just wanted to power through this. I didn't feel like boiling any water to peel, to have the skins wrinkle off. So I'm just taking my cute little paring knife, and I'm peeling them with a knife. It all worked out great. So the recipe calls for 4 jalapenos, but I had just used my fresh ones from the garden to make a loaf of jalapeno cheddar bread. So luckily I have my freeze-dried ones that I did during the Every Bit Counts challenge. So I'm going to use some of those for this salsa, and it worked great. I am so happy I did this. I have to say though, when I opened it up, the spiciness in the air was crazy, and my eyes were mad, and I had to cough there a few times. It was pretty potent. So for 4 jalapenos, I just did about a half a cup of these freeze-dried jalapenos. Now, it calls for a bell pepper. Okay, so this is my pepper basket, and I have all these Anaheim peppers. What do I do with all of these Anaheim peppers? Please help me. I don't know what to do. But I also have some Cubano peppers in here, which I'm going to sub in for a bell pepper in this recipe, because I didn't grow bell peppers and I don't have any, and it's late, the stores are closed. So a pepper is a pepper when it comes to canning. So if you have an idea of what I can do with all those Anaheims, please let me know. So I went ahead and stirred that up to try and give the, put a barrier across those jalapenos, because they were very, very potent. So I'm just gonna destem and deseed these beautiful Cubanos. So now I'm adding in some cilantro, and this was stuff that I dried. So I'm doing a half a cup loosely packed, and we'll get that stirred in. And this stuff was, I had it left over from when I believe I freeze dried a whole bunch. So I just air dried that. And then the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of honey. This is some local honey. And so I'm scooping that out. When I get this heated up, it'll get rid of the crystallization on it. Next up was some garlic. All I have is this garlic, so I'm adding some of that. Hopefully next year my garlic actually grows and turns out. Next up is some cumin, so I'm going to add, I believe it was 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, and then 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper is up next. And that's all that goes into it. So I'm going to put this on and get it nice and hot and bubbly. Make sure that honey is all reliquefied, and let this cook down and get a little bit thicker, and then we will get it in our jars. Okay, it's ready to roll. So I'm gonna start with a quart jar, and I'm doing so because I want to use this for a big old pork butt, and I figured a quart jar would be a good amount of liquid to throw in with it. So I'm just gonna fill these jars to about a 1/2 inch headspace and adjusting as necessary. And the next jars I'm gonna do are 1/2 pints, which is what the recipe says. It'll yield 8 1/2 pints. So we'll go with that, and we'll get some jars filled. So I didn't have enough left in here to fill this last quart jar. I probably could have gotten a pint jar out and it would have filled it perfectly, but I didn't really want to go downstairs and find another jar. I had a quart one here, so I'm just gonna put the rest of it in this one and throw it in the fridge, and we'll have to have pork sometime this week and try it out. So that's what I'm gonna do with this partially filled jar here. And for these other 3, I will get out my white vinegar, clean rag, clean the rims, and get new lids and put some rings on. And these will get processed in a water bath. And the 1/2 pints will only take 15 minutes, and the quart jar will have to stay in for a 1/2 hour. And I can tell you the house smelled amazing. And I really hope we like this because it was fairly simple to put together, so we'll find out. I also did a full freeze dryer load of peaches as well. So here they are. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next week. Bye.